afternoon, everyone. Hi, my name is Olena Williams, and I am the president-elect of the Rotary Club of Chicago. I would like to bring this meeting to order, our 5,649th meeting of the Rotary Club.
Wow.
And at this time, I would like to bring Marshall Schmidt up for the thought of the day.
It's carnival time.
On August 28, 1963, the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. gave his famous I Have a Dream speech. I didn't realize it, but that was 100 years after the signing of the Emancipation Proclamation. So in this month of Black History, where we celebrate Black History Month, I wanted to read to you some excerpts from that famous speech to remind us all of how far we've come and how far we have to go. In the speech, he talked about the beauty of democracy and how it had still not been perfected for then what was known as the Negro race. He asked questions like these. There are those who are asking the devotees of civil rights, when will you be satisfied? We can never be satisfied as long as the Negro is the victim of unspeakable horrors of police brutality. He talked about his hopes for his children. In one of the most famous lines, I have a dream that my 4 children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day every valley shall be exalted, every hill and mountain shall be made low, the rough places will be made plain, and the crooked places will be made straight, and the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. We have come a long way, but we have not come to the place that he talked about at the end of his speech. We still have unspeakable horrors being inflicted on African Americans in this country. But when we reach that place that he dreamed about, when it happens, when we allow freedom to ring, when we let it ring from every village and every hamlet, from every state and every city, we will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, free at last, thank God Almighty, we are free at last. Let's continue to work towards that day because it will be a beautiful day. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Very touching, thank you. We want to make sure everyone understands. We'll do our best to get to all of our questions on Zoom. If everyone do one question per person on Zoom, please put your questions into the chat box. And we're going to honor our speaker's time and keep questions succinct. And at this time, I'd like to introduce Marga to introduce our speaker.
Hello, everybody. For those who are visiting, I'm Marga Huco, immediate past president of this club. It is my pleasure, Olena, to welcome you. There is another lady from Ukraine, Veronica, who's visiting us today as well. So it's great to have you with us. Alex, her husband, is one of our newest members, for those of you who don't know. So, it's great that you're here. And Pat Meriwether, our RI director, who makes us proud in the Rotary world, and she's also here visiting us. So Pat, welcome to our club. And Pat has worked a lot with Olena Gordon in these last years, so that's why she's here. Okay, but let me tell you something about Olena. Dr. Olena Gordon was born and raised in a small town in Ukraine. After graduating from the Ternopil State Medical University in 2001, she went through a residency in Ternopil, Ukraine. Shortly afterward, she immigrated to the United States with a 2-year-old daughter. After several years of learning English and studying and passing the medical board exams, she began her residence at St. Mary's and Elizabeth Medical Center in Chicago. Since completing the residency in 2013, Olena has practiced as a family medicine physician. She is a small business owner of a family practice in Niles and is an active member in the Ukrainian community. In 2020, Dr. Olena was elected as president of UMANA, which is the Ukrainian Medical Association of North America, the Illinois branch. Upon the beginning of the war in Ukraine, Dr. Olena co-founded UMANA Illinois Medical Relief Project, which is still going strong, having shipped 350 tons of an estimated value of $27 million of medical supplies and equipment. Dr. Olena Gordon, please come to the podium, and we look forward to hearing what you have to tell us.
Hello. I'm not a perfect speaker, so I'm going to read my speech. But first of all, I'm very honored to be here, and thank you so much for having me. My name is Dr. Olena Gordon, and I'm UMANA Illinois Chapter President and co-founder of UMANA Illinois Medical Relief Project. UMANA is a Ukrainian Medical Association of North America that was founded in 1950s. It was focused mostly on medical training, teaching, providing medical conferences for our colleagues in Ukraine. Previously, UMANA sponsored training courses in US for Ukrainian doctors. For example, recently, UMANA sponsored a training for bone marrow transplant project in USC for oncologists who came over and be trained. When on February 24th, 2022, Russia invaded Ukraine, we were devastated and scared. Many of us have friends and relatives there. It was shocking news. Invasion was very devastating because it reopens historical scars that was left by Soviet Union. My grandparents and relatives were sent to concentration labor camps by Stalin to Siberia in late 1920s. Most of them died. Some came back, but with a major emotional trauma. I remember those horrible stories from my grandma about the concentration camps. So when the war started, it touched me personally on so many levels. And I promised myself that I will do as much as I can to help Ukrainian people on a larger scale. I want to do more than just writing check or helping another organization. I want to run my own. As a physician, I decided with my colleague, Dr. Oля Mahutyak, to run a medical relief mission to Ukraine. This is how UMANA Illinois Medical Relief Project was born. The project started 3 days after the Russian brutal invasion. We decided that we're gonna focus only on medical equipment, medications, and supplies. So we reach out to our colleagues in Ukraine, physicians, to understand their needs. And then we start reaching out the local hospitals, health system, pharmaceutical companies, medical supplies companies, private clinics, and individuals. We used professional and social networks to find potential donors. Let me tell you, Response was unbelievable, overwhelming. Just in a few days, I would say 2-3 days, we got so many phone calls, messages, emails about the potential donors, the people who want to donate. So we start collecting in our garage. It was a previous slide. No, it's okay. But then we realized the garage was getting too small, so Alex found a donated warehouse in Bensonville, and we moved to a warehouse. In 1 week, our warehouse started to receive daily trucks with deliveries, and all those trucks were packed with medical supplies and equipment. And trucks was coming in not just from Illinois, but from all over the country. Next, please. Okay, we had no experience how to run the large project, on a large scale project. As a doctors, we had no idea what the Gaylord's box or pallets or how to run logistic. The only things we knew that we want to collect all those medications as soon as possible and deliver not just to Ukraine, but actually deliver to the places that most needed. So the amount of work was crazy. We brought Alex and our daughter on a board. She helps with the paperwork, volunteer, organizer, logistic, PR person, running all the social media. She was our medical aid coordinator. Alex was in charge of our warehouse operation and logistic. The project was growing so large and strong that another colleagues joined our team. And trust me, none of us has any experience. We just knew we want to help, and that passion was driving us. On this slide, you can see that our first cargo plane took off in the middle of the March 2022. We were able to send 50 tons of medical aid to Poland. From Poland, it went to Ukraine, to the east and south. Next, please. We were so worried about that first plane because we worked so hard to collect those 50 tons that we went to Poland to make sure that it's gonna be delivered as we planned. Next. In March 2022, we met with amazing Pat Merriweather and Marga Helko, as well as other Rotarians. They were amazing and eager to help. Because of them, we were able to purchase and delivered so many equipment. For example, Rotary purchased a lot of surgical equipment, craniotomy sets, BOVA machines, surgical lamps, neurosurgical tables, a lot of tourniquets, salox, a lot of bleed stop supplies were purchased by Rotary. And remember, all this was done in the first 1-2 months of war. We're talking about time-sensitive moments. When we went to Poland, Pat arranged meetings with other Rotarians in Lublin and Peremyśl, who met with us and helped to see and went to the refugee camps, hospitals, and local children hospice for Ukrainian refugees. Because of Rotarians, we were able to achieve our goals that we have in Poland for a short period of time. We were growing big. In this slide, you can see we moved to Germantown in Wisconsin, where our colleague, Dr. Douglas Davis, and Milwaukee Rotarians secured another warehouse and still collecting, sorting, helping all those supplies and equipment. Next. In April and May, we sent 3 more cargo planes with another 280 tons of medical aids and 18 ambulances. Beside the air charters and containers, we sent thousands of medical bags with the critical supplies that was delivered straight to the front line and was delivered very quickly. We were receiving updates about our supplies on a daily basis, pictures, videos. For example, trauma surgeons from Kramatorsk, they were almost crying when Pat helped us to purchase craniotomy sets for the hospital. He reported that because of all those supplies, him and his team was able to perform about 60 surgeries a day. 60 surgeries, can you imagine? They were receiving about 200 wounded on a daily basis. And I'm talking about Kramatorsk, which is between Kharkiv and Dnipro, very close to the front line, very close to the hot zone. And all of this was done with the help of Rotaries. So thank you. Next. We got a warehouse in Lviv, and we have amazing volunteers network in Ukraine who's still helping us with those deliveries and distributions. We sent another additional 2 containers this winter with supplies and medical aid to Ukraine. We continue purchasing supplies and medication in Ukraine and Europe because we have a good network of medical companies and pharmaceutical companies there, as well as a good medical company in Kyiv. Another Rotarian, our friend Igor Balaka, he's a president of Kharkiv Rotarian Club. For the last 11 months, because we met him in March, this amazing person with a huge heart, he helped us, UMANA, Illinois, to distribute all that medical aid in the Kharkiv and all Kharkiv regions. Because the Kharkiv regions, if you look in the map, it's very close to the front line and hot zones. Next. So far, we were able to send 4 cargo planes to Ukraine, carrying about 450 tons of critical aid and 18 ambulances. We purchased over $450 of medical equipment for the hospitals, such as neurosurgical beds, military-grade ventilators, defibrillators, craniotomy sets, wound vacs, ortho drills, suction, sterilization, surgical lamps, incubators for newborns, and so much more and more. And personally, we deliver about 2,800 blue bags. And the way why we call blue bags, because we bought them at Amazon, and you can carry, and they are very steady. It's easy to carry the equipment from US to Ukraine. And each bag estimated to be worth between $3,000 and $10,000 per bag. Next. In June 2022, UMANA Illinois team received the Global International Medical Awards. Thank you to Pat. She promoted us. Next. Over $27 million of donation made their way to Ukraine. Next. My colleague, Dr. Olga Mehutyak, recently went to Ukraine and delivered a first-hand observation. Unfortunately, the situation is still devastating. Hospitals overwhelmed with patients, soldiers, civilians, a lot of patients with a chronic disease, cancers, left without treatment. Huge shifts of refugees from east and south of Ukraine moved to the west part. Since a lot of hospitals and medical supply companies, pharmaceutical companies were destroyed, providers didn't have enough equipment to treat. Next. We're still purchasing, we're still buying medications and supplies in Ukraine. We're trying to support economy as much as we can, if it's possible. We're still getting a lot of donations here locally, and everything that donated here, we're able to send through container. Unfortunately, we don't have any more cargo planes. Those 4 donors, it was amazing. Yeah, amazing. Because each of those cargo plane, it was about $400,000 that was donated. But let me tell you that together with the Rotary, we have done a lot to help, a lot. But the need is only getting more urgent. We are very, very grateful to all Rotarians for all your help, for your support. I don't have even words to express my how much I'm grateful, how much I appreciate all your support and help. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, Doctor, don't go anywhere. Thank you for being with us. It's a great honor to have you here today. This is a very curious group, but being the president who runs late to the party, I abused my privilege to ask the first question. Since you started this, has there been a shift in the needs? I mean, I know it's all about medical equipment, and do you need different equipment from a year ago? Is there a different focus? Where do you stand today as opposed to a year ago? And then I'll pass on the microphone.
So at the beginning of the war, no one was prepared. I mean, no one can ever be prepared for the war and the trauma that the hospitals were receiving. So at the beginning, it was more needs about how to stop the bleeds and how to stop burn, and it was more about wound vacs, ortho drills. I would say about more ortho and trauma supplies. Now the shifts are more about chronic care and cancer care and treatment for the chronic disease. But still, since the war is still going on, we're still getting a lot of requests for craniotomy sets. Like, for some reason, so many requests, craniotomy sets and ortho drills.
Thank you very much. Questions in the group here? I know there's another doctor over here, so I'm going to pass the microphone over to you, Pancho. You don't have a question, all right. Marshall, thank you.
So I got to say that we've all been incredibly inspired by the resilience of the Ukrainian people. And I guess being Ukrainian yourself, I'd ask you, what is it about the Ukrainian people and its culture that have been so extraordinary in this difficult time?
I feel it's more about the history. I mean, part of it, probably history that runs back 100 years ago when first Russia occupied part of the Ukraine, and a lot of people who were from the West, they were part of the army for the freedom of Ukraine. And all those families who had member in a Ukrainian army against the Stalin were sent to Siberia. So I feel like it's about like 2 generations back, like my grandparents and my grandparents were sent to Siberia. And so many people have the same story as I do. So with this full scale of invasion, it just opened those wounds, those old scars. And I feel that people were so like passion, or like I want to do something. It's about even like myself. Like someone asked me, why you have a full-time job and you are a business owner and 3 kids and husband, and like why are you doing this? Just write the check for a few $1,000s and give to another NGO, another organization. But I feel like somewhere deep inside me, I felt guilty that I'm not there. So I decided that I can be here and still I can do more than just write the check. So maybe that was one of the motivation, eager to help. I feel like everyone who's helping, you don't have to be a soldier on the front line. You can be a soldier where you are. You can help and support in your way, as long as you want to help. And anything that you do, everything it's matter. Any voice, any action, it makes the difference. Nothing is too small. And if you are a dreamer and you're not scared to take a risk, you're not scared to fail, you're gonna achieve your goal. And I feel like anyone here, if you have goals, but you're scared, doesn't matter what kind of goals. I feel like you should not scare. You should give a chance to yourself, like I did for myself. I was scared. I didn't know what I'm doing. I just knew I want this. I want to collect medical supplies and not just collect. I want to deliver as soon as possible, and I want to deliver to the front line. When Alex asked me, how are you going to do it? I said, I don't know yet, but tomorrow I will know. I have to sleep on it. And then when the garage got so small for the supplies and we have to move to warehouse, and Alex asked me like, okay, what are we gonna do with all of those supplies? How are we gonna deliver? And I said, well, we're gonna get the plane. Alex said, what are you talking about? What plane? And I'm like, let me find out tomorrow. So I feel like, if you're a dreamer and you have a plan and you're not scared, take a chance. Take a chance. Try to get your goal, try to get your dream.
Well, Doctor, that's great. That's a great testament for your husband's love for you. So whatever crazy idea you come up with, he said, I'm in. That's fantastic. You're a very lucky lady. Any other questions for her? Yes, I'm on my way. Hold on.
So aside from financial support, which you probably still could use, what are the hands-on things that people can do?
In this moment, we slow down at the warehouse. Before, we did have a lot of volunteering opportunities, like a hands-on. Right now, we're slowing down. So in this moment, we just trying to raise the funds, get the funds and donations and buying supplies there, because it's much easier and much quicker. And with this experience for the last few months, we realize if you buy equipment in Europe or Kyiv, for the doctors there, it's so much easier to use it because they got used to it. And then if anything broken, it will be much quicker to deliver compared from US. Yeah.
Right, friends, any other questions here? Any hands? Well, thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
There's a little bit of the echo here. We have a tradition normally. There it is. We want to thank you for being here. We have a little Rotary cup as a thank you.
Thank you.
Have as much coffee as you need to stay this energized.
Thank
I'm
you.
not sure you need much coffee to have this energy, but I want to say thank you for being here and let us know who we can support, and we'll do that.
Thank you. Thank
All
you.
right, cool.
Thank you. Grab my.
All right. All right, we're fudging the program today a little bit, given my tardy arrival. But Alida, if you want to join me here for a second, I think you're back up despite my showing up. You don't really need me. See, she's already taken over. I'm useless here.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for that wonderful speech. So, as we are talking about our Rotary One fundraiser this year at Dark House on March 23rd, we had to change the dates around, but we can still celebrate Rotary's birthday, even if it's a month late. Shelby, can you put up the slide for me? And it's going to be representing, yes, there it is, a taste of Germany.
The fine fatherland for everybody.
So everyone, everything is open on the website, so please order your tickets. And another portion of that is our annual campaign. Right now, Rotary One Foundation has raised $14,803. The Rotary Foundation, we have raised $2,640. As you know, we've changed how we've done the annual campaign, so all of our members can now go call the office and set up their monthly donations, or quarterly or annually, or however you would like to do it, so that we have it all registered and you don't have to listen to me ask you for money every single week. But also please understand the great work that the Rotary One Foundation and the Rotary Foundation does. With your donations, we're able to help and do and raise the money and the funds and the equipment that is needed to help Ukraine, to help Turkey, and to help the many other things that we do. The Chicago CPS grants that we do here, our Job One program, all of those things are funded by your donations to our foundations, the Rotary One Foundation and the Rotary Foundation. So I implore all of our members to please make that commitment with the office, and they can set that up for you, and it can be one and done. And
And since you're here,
Yeah.
and you capture them all like that, can you talk about job one?
exactly. And so Job One, for those of you who may not know, Job One is our signature program in which we recruit Chicago high school juniors and seniors, and we recruit wonderful employers like Clint Krisloff, who just came in today, who I normally don't see. I'm very happy.
Nice, Alita, nice.
Yes. I was like, Clint's here? All right. Myself and many other of our employers, they're Rotary members and throughout the city. And we have all types of jobs for high school students, from engineering to being a lawyer, working for catering. The ULC has had students, our Boys and Girls Clubs, many foundations. So we, are looking for students, and we are also looking for employers. So please let us know if you would like to be a part, if you would like to sponsor a student to work at a nonprofit, if you yourself can't hire a student or anything like that. And next is Lisa Russ to come talk about Women of the Year.
And I just want to give it up for Alita. Every time that I'm somewhere else, she steps right in here and takes over. But Lisa, what's the latest on Woman of the Year?
Okay, this is number 10, you guys. I can't believe it. But we're doing it. And so we have a call for nominations out right now. I think most of you know the drill, but we do a reach out right now to locate some honorees for this event, which is going to take place here at the ULC on May 16th. So that's Tuesday, May 16th. As always, this is a membership event, and it's the opportunity for you to bring people to Rotary to show them that we have this really cool opportunity to honor people for their service. And since we say that we are the world's first service club, we, as you know, some people in this room have heard this speech so many times, that we felt that we were in a great position to honor people for their service. Pat, you were part of the first one. There's a bunch of people in this room who were part of the first one. So, it's a beautiful and wonderful event. A lot of you have taken part of it. And if it's also a cool opportunity if you know somebody out there who is providing service to somewhere in Chicagoland or an aspect of Chicagoland, what a neat way to honor that person. So go online, Tam or any of the team can send you the application, and we just would love to get these in and start identifying these cool people. So it's going to be a beautiful day. That's May 16th. Thanks a bunch. Thanks, Timo.
Thank you so much. And yes, please.
So our invitees to Women of the Year lunch be available to us for points.
Absolutely. Actually, you know what? I appreciate you saying that. I thought about that, but you're quicker than me. I say we double the points for that event. All right. So before I ask Sarah to join me, Pat, if you wouldn't mind coming up here for a second and sharing a few words with us, and then Sarah is next. I'll step out of the way.
It's great to be here with all of you. I truly enjoy coming to the Chicago one. So again, and I know many of you for many years, and some of them I'm just meeting for the first time. It was a great presentation today. I love the presentations that you have at Rotary One. And I especially today was very relevant because we are coming up on unfortunately, the 1-year anniversary. So I encourage people to get involved, get engaged. There's opportunities with Turkey and Syria and Pakistan and Ukraine. And then there's local community initiatives going on. And just to remember that I know Alita will be coming back and sharing with you the new opportunities, the themes for next year. And it really is focused on peace and hope, mental health, and continuity so that we have this bridging that goes on. So again, love to be here. Thank you so much. And again, enjoy the rest of the program. Thank you.
Thank you, Pat, for joining us today. Looks like we're out of coffee cups, but that shall be remedied. Tamara, do you hear that? Sarah, would you mind joining me? Sarah is going to provide us with an update on the Community Service Committee.
I have a question about the German event.
Okay.
Will you be wearing lederhosen?
Well, this is a fundraising opportunity. If this group comes up with $500, I'll shop in lederhosen. Okay, at the club at large, $500, I shop in lederhosen. Another $250, I'll make sure that Matthias will do the yodeling. All right, so you guys get together, conspire, cut those checks. We take credit cards. Well, the club does, not me. But so you get together, hit that goal, and there will be Lederhosen Man and the Yodel Master.
Okay, that's for the Rotary One Foundation?
Absolutely. All right, Sarah.
Don't worry,
I'm afraid of that.
Send some text messages out.
Okay, well, good afternoon. That's a tough act to follow, but I am here to change gears a little bit and talk about our community service projects. I am Sarah Buck, the co-chair of the Community Service Committee with Wes Westerfield, and I just wanted to give you a little bit of update of what's coming up. So we are working on creating some service projects with Night Ministry, who was, they were a speaker here a couple of weeks ago, so we're working on that. Wes and I took a call with a group called Gap Community, who Timo actually connected me with, and working on putting together a service project with that as well, possibly with some cooking classes. On March 1st, the next rollout of the CPS grants is happening. So we've gotten a lot of service projects that come out of that as well. So that call for proposals will come out on March 1st, due April 1st. So you'll be hearing a lot more about that in the upcoming months. And then recently, we also funded, again, the Fernando Jones Blues Camp. That's happening in the summer, and so you'll be hearing more about that later in May or June. We'd like to get some Rotarians out to cheer on the kids. It's a really great event, and he's really grateful to Rotary, and he always speaks very highly of us, and so it would be nice to have some Rotarians go and cheer on the kids as well. And every year he says, don't you have any Rotary members that play musical instruments? I'm like, well, I don't know, but I do get the microphone sometimes, so I can put out that call for Rotarians who play musical instruments, because there are, when they have the big like performances of the kids, they have an adult. They have adult performances as well, so something to be thinking about. Maybe we could do that too. Yeah, maybe you'll wear your lederhosen and Matthias can yodel for another $500, right? Anyway, all right. Oh, I'm sorry, one last thing. The dictionary project is always ongoing, and so if anyone is interested in delivering the dictionaries to third graders, it's a good time. You can contact Wes. He is the point person for that. Okay, thank you.
Sarah? You know, folks, normally I am the master of and in charge of the Department of Inappropriateness. Today, I have been outdone. My very dear friend, Betsy, has created another challenge. In the event that you reach your fundraising goal and coerce me into the ugly situation of wearing lederhosen, you shall also be allowed to stuff my lederhosen with cash up to another $500. And that's Betsy's idea. I would normally reject that. Because of, I would normally reject that because it's inappropriate. My wife would be very mad at me, but trying to be a good Rotarian, I'll play along.
Well, you know what?
Yes, Marga?
Your equal the leather wasn't here.
All right. Well, right, very good. Now that we have contaminated your minds for the rest of the afternoon with the ugly side of me in Lederhosen, which I apologize for, let me remind you real quick, look at the gyrator. We've got all kinds of updates in there. It's good information. Marga, would you mind joining me up here to for the 4-way test? Or actually, it's a 5-way test. We can do whatever we want. It's a 5-way test. Grab the mic.
All right.
Stand, please.
So the 4-way test of the things we think, say, and do. Number 1 is truth. Number 2, is it fair to all concerned? Number 3, will it build goodwill and better friendships? Number 4, will it be beneficial to all concerned? Number 5,
It's Mardi Gras time.
and it will be fun and appropriate.
Thank you very much. Meeting is concluded. Thanks. I forgot to, no, the bell I rang. So let me unring that real quick. No, I forgot to welcome our guests. Both, you know, it's my mistake, sorry, but so do we have any international guests here in this room today? Online?
We do have a
Speak
guest
up,
online. Timo.
or-
We have one guest online.
Jorge's mute. Jorge? Well, if you come back, you'll get another chance. U.S. Rotarians in this room. All right, U.S. Rotarians online. Was I too fast? U.S. Rotarians online. Aha, now we're getting to the real business of the day. We've got guests of Rotary here in the room. Who's got guests? Oh, you grab them? Thank you.
So I have many guests here, so thanks for joining. Sophie, and I'll pass it on. Sophie and Veronica, Katie, and Bernadette, so all very brilliant Chicagoans, so I hope they join.
It's very nice to meet everyone here. It's the first time to come to the club, and I'm open to learn more. Thank you, everyone.
Do you mind if I can listen? My name is Veronica, and I'm a friend of Nita. We met at work, and I'm very grateful for this opportunity. I'm also Ukrainian, and thank you, Olga, for doing things that you do. I also have my father, and he's a soldier there, so I'm very familiar with things that you do. That's great that this organization exists. I didn't know about that. Honestly, I just saw the pictures in LinkedIn from Nita doing the help for the UMANA initiative. And that's amazing that we all do things just to help each other and to help the world. Very happy to be here. And again, thank you for the opportunity.
I don't have much to follow with that. I'm Katie, a Chicagoan, and a friend of Etha's too. Grateful to be here. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Bernadette Williams, and I'm a friend of Neetha's. We met at Choose Chicago. I am new to Chicago. I'm about a year here, and Rotary was actually one of my larger clients in Virginia Beach, where I'm from. And so it's an honor to be here today. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you for being with us today. I promise you, our normal Rotary meetings are not about Lederhosen. Okay? So do we have any other guests online? Maybe not. Maybe not. Jorge, are you back? All right, he's not. Look, thanks. Oh, there he is. Thank you, Marshall. Jorge.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the invitation. And, I will be back when you ever have another meeting. Thank you.
Thanks for joining. Well, where are you from? Where are you joining us from? Jorge, where are you joining us from?
From the Rotary Club, San Pedro Sula, Honduras, District 4250.
Wonderful. Thanks for joining.
Thank you so much.
Well, with that, I will try this again to conclude this meeting. I thank everybody for being here. Have a great afternoon. Meeting concluded.